So why are you here then?
At the end
if you don't have probable grounds, why are you here?
Listen.
Are you harassing me?
Welcome to the Political Orphans. My name is Nicolagan. Tonight, I'm supposed to be joined by combat veteran and retired military judge Tony Ledsham. Unfortunately, he has not showed up yet. Hopefully, he does so shortly so that we can conduct this interview. But as you saw in this short clip, we seem to be seeing more and more Canadian citizens being visited by police. That being said, I don't know if you saw the video, if you saw the viral video, because it's about 200,000 views on X right now, the short clip of the video in question that I just showed you. But we shall look at it right now until our guest shows up. Hopefully he does. But let me bring up the video for you so that we can start watching it, if case you haven't seen it. So here is Babu. Let me rewind it right here. And here we are. Let's look at the video in question.
harassing communications and 2 counts of failing to comply probation. Okay, so before you say anything, I want to caution you, okay?
Yep.
So anything you say from this point on can be used against you as evidence, okay? You understand that?
Yep.
So we're here at your house, and we're here to ask you if you want to come with us to deal with these charges at 51 Division in Toronto.
Oh, you're Toronto.
Yeah, we're Toronto police.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't notice. I thought you were home.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Yeah, sorry, I should have said that.
Okay, so who is filing these complaints against me?
Well, I mean, we're not going to get into specifics. Basically, there's grounds to arrest you for those charges based on harassing communications.
But I have no idea which grounds they are or who's.
And I know, but like at the end of the day,
yeah.
I mean, the grounds are there. So,
Well, I can assure you that they're not.
Okay.
So I'm very, very cognizant about criminal harassment. Do you realize that I have been convicted for criminal harassment?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you know my situation.
Yep.
And do you realize that I was a judge in the military?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm very, very cognizant about what constitutes reasonable and probable grounds.
Okay.
And I don't know who has filed these complaints or what the complaints are about. But I can tell you, but there is absolutely no reasonable and probable grounds. Okay.
It's not reasonable probable anymore. It's just reasonable. But
so why are you here then?
At the end,
if you don't have probable grounds, why are you here?
Listen.
Are you harassing me?
No, we're not. We're definitely not. We're here to. We're obligated to tell you that grounds exist and charges are going to be.
No, but it has to be reasonable and probable.
Okay.
Okay, not just once.
Listen, no.
Okay.
Okay, before you say anything else, I'm going to remind you of the caution, okay?
I heard that.
Okay,
I understand my rights.
Okay, good.
I fought for my country, Constable.
Okay. Yeah.
You're a constable, right? You're not a sergeant?
Yeah, I'm a sergeant.
Neither are you.
Constable, yeah. We're both constables.
Okay, good.
So my name's Chris, and his name's also Chris, actually. Anyway, we're here to, we're just here to tell you because we're obligated to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't choose to come with us now to deal with the charges, that's totally up to you because we're on your property. So if you don't want to, then we'll just be on our way. Okay, but then the charges is still going to be
it's going to be in CPIC, right? If
Yeah.
I get pulled over for a traffic stop, I'm going to be arrested. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So that is not only harassment, that is intimidation. Do you understand what intimidation is?
But I don't want to get away
intimidation
from the reason that
is
we're here.
an indictable offense, Constable.
Okay.
Okay.
But you don't need
so please do not
need to argue
please.
about it?
Well, I do need to argue about it because I've been through this so many times. Okay. This whole bullshit about criminal harassment is bullshit. Do you know what it used to be called? It used to be called stalking.
Do you wish to come with us or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Carry on, gentlemen.
Okay.
But I would like to know what's behind this. I have the right to know what's behind this. Who has filed these complaints?
The investigation's at 51 Division.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It seems like a few of you guys have seen this video before. It's very unfortunate because we were supposed to be joined by veteran and retired military judge Tony Letcham, which is the gentleman in question that the police visited. I am not sure what's going on, but he hasn't showed up. But let's break it down, because that was the whole idea, was to have him on the show so that he could break down what was happening. Because let's be honest here, it's easy to have an opinion of a video that starts mid-conversation, because clearly, if you noticed at the beginning of the video, the constable was already speaking. So I was very curious to have Chris on the show to explain what was going on. But I figured, even though he's not here, we can still break it down, because I had a lot of questions. There was a lot of things in there that did not seem very clear to me, that did not make a lot of sense to me. So let's start at the beginning. I'm going to replay it again, but I'm going to stop it every single time I found something that was interesting, to say the least. So we can, oh, I wasn't playing it. My apologies. Let me replay it there.
Harassing communications and 2 counts of failing to comply probation. Okay.
So if you heard what he said harassing communication and 2 counts of failing to comply to probation. Now, I have no idea what he's failing to comply to probation, because that is a question that I had for Tony tonight. But when it comes to harassing communication, if you guys are not aware, to put it into perspective for you guys, in Canada, harassing communication is a criminal offense if a person repeatedly communicates via phone, text, email, or social media without a lawful excuse and with the explicit intent to harass, alarm, or annoy the recipient. Offenders can face significant fines or imprisonment. That's interesting. Imprisonment for harassing or annoying a recipient. Man, do you know how many people online annoy me? Attack me directly? So basically, they could potentially be imprisoned for words, because that's what it means. That is what harassing communication is. Although it is not just done online through social media, it is done also via phone and text, which that was part of the questions that I had for Tony, to kind of tell us what it actually means in his case, if he knows what he's talking about. So let's continue the video, because you'll see there's a lot of question mark on this video.
Okay, so before you say anything, I want to caution you, okay?
Yep.
So anything you say from this point on can be used against you as evidence, okay? You understand that?
Yeah.
So we're here at your house, and we're here to ask you if you want to come with us to deal with these charges at 51 Division in Toronto.
Oh, you're Toronto.
Yeah, we're Toronto police.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't notice. I thought you're home.
Yeah, oh, that's okay. Yeah, sorry, I should have said that.
Okay, so who is filing these complaints against me?
Well, I mean, we're not going to get into specifics. Basically, there's grounds to arrest you for those charges based.
So they're not getting into specifics, which this is very iffy to me, but there are grounds for arrest. So listen to what he says to this.
On harassing communications.
But I have no idea which grounds they are, or who's.
And I know, but like at the end of the day,
yeah.
I mean, the grounds are there. So
Well, I can assure you that they're not.
Okay.
So I'm very, very cognizant about criminal harassment. Do you realize that I have been convicted for criminal harassment?
See, that's another question I had for Tony, because he's saying that he does not know who's making the complaints. He does not know what this is about, but he's been found guilty of harassment in the past. And I want to make sure, I'm going to replay it to make sure I'm saying the right thing here. Let's just re-listen to what he said.
Cognizant about criminal harassment. Do you realize that I have been convicted for criminal harassment?
Not only found guilty, but convicted of criminal harassment. So again, this is a bit iffy if you ask me. Why was he found to be criminally harassing someone? Are we talking about the same person as the so-called harassment continue? Because this is a question, right? Is this legitimate, what we're seeing right now? The police officer is going to his house. Is it intimidation? Is this something that might have something to do with Bill C9 or the future of Bill C9? And those are all questions that I had for Tony, because this is something that we do not know right now. What is the context of this whole thing? And if Tony himself knew what this was all about, because the video is not very clear and I wasn't able to find other information about more of the context. But let's continue.
Okay, all right. So you know my situation.
Yep.
And do you realize that I was a judge in the military?
Okay.
Okay.
Being a judge in the military, that's why if you listen, he's very calm, right? If you notice, Tony's very calm. He hasn't lost it yet. He's very well spoken, at least in my opinion. So I'm not surprised that he might have had a background in law, but he was a military judge, so he probably knows exactly what he's talking about, and he probably understands what his rights are.
Very cognizant about what constitutes reasonable and probable grounds.
Okay.
And I don't know who has filed these complaints or what the complaints are about. But I can tell you, but there is absolutely no reasonable and probable grounds. Okay.
It's not reasonable probable anymore. It's just reasonable.
See, as per what I could find today, and again, I'm not a lawyer. What I'm gonna say are not legal advice, but there's no such thing as just reasonable ground. It's both. You either have probable grounds or you just don't. It's not a mix of both. It's not just reasonable ground. It's probable and reasonable ground. But he just said reasonable ground. But that does not exist. As per the law, there's no such thing as just reasonable ground. You need to have both. And the other thing to consider here, which I would have loved to get Tony's opinion on this, but there are grounds to arrest you, yet they wouldn't tell him what the grounds were. But under Canadian law, police officers are obligated to inform you of the reason of your arrest without delay. This right is protected under Section 10A of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom. So, again, keep in mind that he wasn't under arrest. They asked him to follow him, which is very strange, which is absolutely very, very strange to me, that they can just show up to your house and say, hey, will you come with us to the police station where we will arrest you? So if he's not under arrest, does the explanation or the grounds as to why he's being arrested need to be stipulated then and there? By what I could find, no. It needs to be, they could wait at the station, because right now he's not under arrest. This whole thing is very fishy to me. I really, really have a lot of questions that this video is just so vague, so vague.
But
so why are you here then?
At the end,
if you don't have probable grounds, why are you here?
Listen,
are you harassing me?
No, we're not.
See, this is a valid question, though. As just a regular Canadian citizen that does a lot of research, I would have had the same question. Why are you here then? If you're not arresting me, if you're saying that you do not have probable and reasonable ground, that you just have reasonable ground, which is not even a technical term, it's not even a legal term, you have to have both. Why are you here? Are you trying to intimidate me? And that's a very, very valid question. Why are they there? Because to me, it sounds like intimidation. That is exactly what it sounds like. Again, third party's perspective. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just going by what I can see on this video. I don't like what I'm seeing. I got to tell you, is this the future of Canada? Because to me, that's exactly what our future looks like, and I don't like it.
We're definitely not. We're obligated to tell you that grounds exist and charges are going to be
No, but it
filed.
has to be reasonable and probable.
Okay.
Okay.
See, that's exactly what I was saying.
Okay, not just once.
Listen, no.
Okay.
Okay. Before you say
Yeah.
anything else, I'm going to remind you of the caution. Okay.
I
And then
heard
you-
that.
Okay,
I
good. You heard
understand
it?
my
Good.
rights.
Okay. Good.
I fought for my country, constable.
Yeah.
You're a constable, right? You're not a sergeant?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Neither are you.
Constable. Yeah. We're both constables.
Okay, good.
So my name's Chris, and his name is also Chris, actually.
I gotta say, the first time I heard them say that, my name is Chris, his name is also Chris, all I could say is my name's dumb, his name's dumber. Like, why? What does it matter? You've been there for literally 3 minutes already. Why is it relevant now that you're Chris, and he somehow seems like he's trying to say that to calm the air, to make a little joke? What I could think of is, hey, I'm dumb. Here's my partner, dumber.
Anyway, we're here to we're just here to tell you because we're obligated to tell you.
Mhm.
And if you don't choose to come with us now to deal with the charges, that's totally up to you
Mhm.
because we're on your property. So
Yeah.
if you don't want to, then we'll just be on our way. Okay, but then the
CPIC.
charges is still going to be
It's going to be in CPIC, right? And
Yeah.
if I
This is a term I was not able to find. So if you guys know what that means in CPIC, I have no clue what this means. I tried to find different variation of writing the word, and I was always getting auto-corrected by Google. I was not able to find the definition of in CPIC. I'm not even sure how it's written. So if you guys know what it means, drop it in the comment section because I don't know what it means. He will explain what it seems to mean, but I wanted to have the legal term so I could see it, the actual definition. But if you know what in CPIC means, drop it in the comment section because I'm very curious.
get pulled over for a traffic stop, I'm going to be arrested. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that is not only harassment, that is intimidation. Do you understand what intimidation is?
But I don't want to get away.
And I agree with him. Can you guys tell me that this does not, from a third party's perspective, not knowing all of the information, because as we said, we don't know the whole story clearly, and this is why I wanted to have Chris on the show. Unfortunately, hopefully nothing happened to him, but he was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, we won't know the background story, at least his side of the story. But this whole thing looks exactly like that, like it's intimidation. So I fully agree with him when he says, is this intimidation? Are you guys harassing me?
Is an indictable offense, constable.
Okay. So I don't want to get away.
Intimidation
from the reason that
is
we're here.
an indictable offense, constable.
Okay.
Okay.
But you don't need
so
to.
please do
you don't
not.
need to argue
Please.
about it?
Well, I do need to argue about it
No.
because I've been through this so many times.
Okay.
Okay. This whole bullshit about criminal harassment is bullshit. Do you know what it used to be called? It used to
All
be
right,
called
sir,
stalking.
Do you wish to come with us or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Carry on, gentlemen.
Okay.
But I would like to know what's behind this. I have the right to know what's behind this. Who has filed these complaints?
The investigation's at 51 Division.
Yeah, whatever.
What?
And I would have to agree with him. Under the law, you're supposed to be able to know who is putting those complaints against you. And clearly, they are not saying. They're not going to tell them why. Would it be different if he went with them to the station? Maybe, who knows? Maybe he'd get more information from there. And I believe that, I just want to make sure because I was in communication with him earlier. I want to make 100% sure, but I believe that he told me that he was planning to go to the station and get arrested today or tomorrow. Because that video was taken on Friday evening. I have to go. Yeah, he did say that. Yes, that was me because I asked him to confirm that it was indeed him in the video, but he also said that I had to go to Toronto tomorrow morning and be arrested and bailed. So it seems like Tony was going to go to the Toronto station to get arrested, then bailed, and probably that he would have a lot more information by doing so. But what do you guys think of this video? Because unfortunately, I don't have a lot of background information. Again, Tony, the man that you can hear in the video, was supposed to join us today. Unfortunately, he did not. I'm not sure what happened. Hopefully, nothing serious. But what do you guys think? Because to me, this whole thing sounds very vague. It seems like we're missing a lot of information here. What do you guys think? And one of the things that I wanted to ask him as a judge, as a military judge, he's probably very aware of Bill C-69, Bill C-9, because to me, that's all I could think of. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know the whole context. I don't have the information from Chris either, from Tony either. But to me, it just sounds like what we can plan on seeing in the future with Bill C-9. And talking about Bill C-9, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I should probably bring it up since now we have more time. But senators modified Bill C-9 in the Senate yesterday to add a new section on residential school denialism. So as per the Senate, they will add a new section that will make it, oh, here we go. I will share my screen to give you some context right here. Buzzing. So right here, the Senate Standing Committee on Human Rights significantly amended Bill C-9, adding a new provision to the criminal code that makes it an indictable offense to condone, deny, downplay, or justify the Indian residential school system or misrepresenting facts relating to it. The amendment classifies this residential school denialism as a form of willfully promoting hatred against indigenous people, making individuals convicted of the offense liable to a term of imprisonment of 2 years, no less. So the Senate have modified Bill C-9. It has passed in a vote of 7-1 that soon in Canada, it will be illegal to deny residential school, whatever that means. Does that mean that the 200 plus so-called bodies that were supposed to have been found through sonar technology in Kamloops, BC, denying it, saying that it never happened, that they don't have the bodies, is that denialism? Do I face 2 years for saying that this is not true, that it's all propaganda, that it was never shown to be accurate? Because that's the reality we're facing now. Bill C-9 has been modified to add residential school denialism, facing imprisonment to up to 2 years. So for the people out there, for the listeners, for the commenters, tell me what you think. Is this complete nonsense? What do you guys think about the video that we played today of this man by the name of Tony Ledsham being visited by police, asked to follow them to the Toronto station for so-called communication harassment or harassing communication? My apologies. So what do you guys think? Drop me your comments in the comment section. We have 30 minutes to go. We will be addressing them as much as we can. I also will drop the link of the Orphans hotline so that you guys can call in, tell me what you guys think. Here is, we'll drop that in the comment section right now. Here we go. If you want to have your voice heard, go to callme.rode, RODE.com, and enter the code SFLXJY and call me. Join the Orphans hotline and all the information I dropped in the comment section. So let's see what you guys have to say, because there was a bunch of comments I wanted to address. Let's start right here. Silverfeet 1280 is saying, so if I type something in this chat and some random person feels offended, then the police will show up to my door. Well, under Bill C9, yes, that is a possibility that hurting people's feelings will get you a visit of the police. Yes, that is a possibility indeed. That's the reality of Canada. And as I said, now our senators have modified the bill to include a section on residential school denialism. So hurting people's feelings is now in possibly imprisonment sentence, up to 10 years, no less. Up to 10 years as per a Bill C9. You stir the soul, wait for them to arrest you, stop fucking talking, and the best information is stop fucking talking. And what part is the main storyline? Stop talking to the police. You're not allowed a lawyer in the in the box. Well, you stir the soul. The thing is that he's a judge. So he's a retired judge, a retired military judge. So obviously that's why he feels he has the information to talk to them. But in general rules, I would agree with you. I would ask questions as to why they're there. I would remain calm. I think that's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, guys, this is going to happen more and more. With Bill C9, this is going to become Canadian reality. And just like in the UK, we're going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of people every year getting arrested for social media posts. And that's the reality that we're going to have to face here in Canada soon, because this is what Bill C9 is all about. Connect that to Bill C22, where they will be able to obtain your metadata up to 1 year. And metadata is not even defined in Bill C22, nor is it defined in the criminal code. So they are asking for information about us without defining what the information actually is and the scope of what they want. And that's the reality. And they want the electronic service providers out there, which is basically every single product and service today has some type of online component. So all those service providers or product providers would have to keep your metadata for up to 1 year, and they won't even tell us the definition of metadata. So what does metadata mean exactly? We don't know. We have no idea, because it is not defined in Bill C22, nor is it defined in the criminal code. So Bill C9 will tell you what you can and cannot say. Bill C22 will allow the government to go back 1 year to see if you've indeed used hate speech, how many times you've used hate speech, and then they can accuse you of hate speech as per Bill C9, using Bill C22, and using Bill C8, they could force your telecommunication services like your Bell, your Rogers, your Telus, your Videotron to cut your internet service and prohibit any other telecommunication service company from selling you internet services. So they're basically putting a gag order on you by not being able to use your internet. That's the reality of Bill C9, Bill C22, and Bill C8. And that is exactly what we seem to be seeing, because this is not the first time, guys. Remember the woman that she was on the show, actually. She had been visited by police. She was not calm. She lost her shit on them. But to go back to what I was saying, if the police shows up to your house, ask them questions. You don't have to give them any information, but you can ask questions and make sure to stay calm and record it. Record everything that they tell you. Record everything and post it online. If you don't know how to do that, send it to me. I will make them famous. info@nicolagan.com, because at the end of the day, guys, if we expose them, if every single time we have police officers showing up to somebody's house and God knows that it's going to happen more and more because of Bill C9. We need to expose them. We need to make it uncomfortable for them to do so. And maybe they won't do it, because at the end of the day, just like we saw with the firearm ban, if half of the police services, and I'm just using a number like that because I don't remember the exact number, but if a bunch of police forces throughout Canada says that they will not enforce it, who is going to enforce it? Same thing applies for Bill C9. If those police officers are saying, no, I will not go visit people in my community to intimidate them, harass them, scare them into submission because they said something that hurt somebody's feelings online, guess what? This could put a whole stop to it, at least to those visits, because unfortunately for us, they are establishing AI campuses. They are establishing AI data centers throughout Canada in order to enforce Bill C9, Bill C22. So we are living in a very, for lack of a better term, interesting time in Canada, but it is up to us to expose it. We can't be scared of showing what's going on, because at the end of the day, free speech is a God-given right. This is not, the government doesn't give me free speech, God does. And I don't know for you, but I'm a Christian, and my God expects me to tell the truth. Just the truth, nothing but the truth, but he expects me to tell the truth. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's exactly what you should do as well, because free speech is a God-given right, and the government has no rights to take it away from us. Michael Blight is saying that, and once they ram C9 through, it will be a nightmare. Not necessarily. Like I said, it's only a nightmare if we let it happen. Because at the end of the day, if we say no, look at what's going on with Bill C22. Bill C22 is getting a bunch of pushback. Unfortunately, not on the right thing. They're pushing back on the encryption, on the backdooring. They're pushing back on the wrong thing, if you ask me, because God knows that our politicians, mainstream media, even the influencers or so-called independent media out there don't understand technology, so they have no clue what they're talking about. But Bill C22 is getting a lot of flack right now, and you have companies that are saying that they will not enforce it. I even saw a post. I don't know if it's true. I would have to confirm it, but I saw a post earlier, and it seems that Rogers, the big telecommunication companies in Canada, is actually trying to inform the public, saying that this goes against the safety, sorry, not the safety, but the privacy that they have with their customers. So it's very interesting to see big tech pushing back, seeing telecommunication companies push back. And I can tell you, I had a conversation. He asked me not to talk about it yet, but I will get more information by the end of the week. I got some really, really juicy information when it comes to Bill C22 and what they've been doing behind the scenes. I had a very good conversation with an old friend of mine that I work with for years, and he's still in the telecommunications space, and he's upper management. So he was telling me some very interesting information, and hopefully I'll be able to give you more detail throughout the week, because he told me he'd give me more information, but to hold on until then. But all to say that they are very serious about Bill C22. And the point I was making is that we're seeing pushback. So we can still fight this. We just don't have to comply. Sheridan is saying, first, he should have asked if they had a warrant. And if not, door stays closed. That was pretty obvious. Again, the video kind of started in the middle of the conversation. It didn't start at the beginning, but it was pretty clear that they did not have a warrant. They were just there to see if they would follow him, which is kind of insane to me. But from the research I was doing earlier, it seems that it's pretty standard for police officers to do things like that, which sounds absolutely insane to me. Teresa 450, thank you very much for the donation. Guys, if you feel like donating, do like Teresa. You can donate, become a member. It's $2.99 a month. It's less than a nasty Tim Horton coffee. Actually, it's less than a Dunkin' Donut coffee. I was in Rhode Island all weekend, and I got to drink Dunkin' Donut coffee because that is all that was open at 3:30 in the morning when I wake up, and my roommate was still sleeping. So I couldn't make coffee, but I could work and go out and actually get coffee from a Dunkin' 24-hour, an open 24-hour Dunkin' Donut that was right across the street. So at least I got that. Oh, and by the way, quick update on Rhode Island. I got some crazy, crazy interviews. I was able to get Brett Weinstein to sit down and talk with me. I was able to get Dr. Brian Ardis, the nicotine guy. I don't know if you guys know who he is. I was able to get Del Bigtree. I was able to get so many great names to sit down. It's kind of awesome that I've been following those guys for years on social media, and then now I got to talk to them over the weekend. So that was great. But I still agree with you, Sheridan. If you don't have a warrant, I understand why the door would stay closed. I would still be curious, though. I would still ask questions because I'd be recording and I want to put that online. I want to expose them for what they do, but I get it. I understand. Prairie is saying, I think if it was legit, they wouldn't have showed up. They would have showed up with a warrant for arrest. Yes. Well, not really, because that's what I was reading earlier, is that this is standard practice. I just don't understand. That's the part I wish I should have asked a lawyer to understand the difference. I was hoping that Tony knew since he was a judge in the military. So I was going to ask him the question, why would police, is it standard procedure to show up without a warrant to say that there is case for arrest, there probable cause to arrest him? It just sounded weird to me, so I agree. It just sounded very, very strange to me. You Stir the Soul is saying, not being able to face your accuser is so insane that it's like 1885 real trial. Her say everywhere and then the hanging. This is why people in Canada needs to start being like the US citizens. You know, this whole thing is very, very, it makes no sense to me either that you can get the police, you can get the visit of the police and you don't even know why. You don't even know who your accuser is. That also doesn't make sense to me. But guys, if you remember, if you read Bill C9, that was one of the problems in Bill C9 too, is that you can be accused of hate speech and never meet your accuser because it is possible for them to remain anonymous. And that is stipulated in Bill C9. So this is something that will definitely be happening more and more if clearly they amended. If anybody was wondering if Bill C9 would become a reality, I think now we're pretty sure, considering that the Senate has amended Bill C9 and made it even worse by making residential school denialism a criminal offense that could get you in prison for up to 2 years. So clearly that bill is going to pass. Orthopedics is saying always film all action with the police, or probably all interaction with the police. I agree with you 1,000%. I would do the same. 100% of my interactions with the police would be recorded as well. We all have cell phones, right? I would 100% be recording just in case. Just look at the case with I believe it's Natasha Montreal that was slammed, that was arrested, put to the ground, and somehow in Montreal they don't have body cams, but somebody recorded it. So there was something like somebody recorded it, but would they have been shown if the police, because if the police doesn't have body cams, you get arrested you say they did something wrong, but there's no proof of it. At least if you recorded it, you're safe, right? And I believe this was the case with her, and that's the case with many others. So yes, I agree. Always record all interactions with police. Silver Feet, and that's a very good point, because this is exactly how I saw it too. You're absolutely right. It's that was one of the comments on the video as well, where he's trapped in his house, or else he'll be arrested. The police could stake out his places and wait for him to come outside. And that was one of the questions I wanted to ask Tony as well, because I believe, and I'm not saying that that's what he said. That's my assumption as a third party. This is what I'm getting it. But when I was watching the video, he did say this is harassment and intimidation. And he even said in CPIC that if I get out of my house and I get pulled over while driving for whatever reason, would I be arrested? And they said yes. And then he started talking about how it was intimidation and harassment. And I agree. So you might not be arrested, you might not be in prison, but you're on house arrest if you don't want to get arrested. I don't see how this is legal. It makes no sense to me. Sheridan Forbes is saying, why didn't the judge ask them for a warrant before he opened the door? That's a very good question. That would have been a great question to ask him. I do not know the answer to that, but I do understand your point, though. The acronym is CPIC. So CIPIC, CIP. So that is definitely why I wasn't finding it earlier, because I was not looking for a definition. I'm just trying to see Internet policy, public interest, Canada's first on public interest technology, new law. What is oh, that's what he meant. Oh, I get it. Okay, I understand now. Good call. Although it's, from what I can see here, it's just CPIC. That's what he meant. That makes a whole lot of sense now. So he was saying it's in CPIC, as in the Canadian Police Information Center. So basically, if his name is pulled, if he speeding ticket, whatever, he does something that would force the police to check up his name, it would come up in the Canadian Police Information Center. So that's what he meant. It's in CPIC. Got it. Yeah, good call. Well said, bro. Absolutely well said. Thank you for making sense of that. That makes a whole lot of sense. Yep, I get it. Good call. Let's see what you guys have to say here. Stir the Soul is saying, how to act in future situation. If you see a crime and it's not your property, do nothing. If you see a police officer fighting suspect on the street, do nothing, say nothing. It's USA every 52 hours. Although in the US, they have a, there's a term for it. Are you obligated to help someone in distress, in danger in the US? I'm pretty sure that there is. They even made a joke. They had made a joke in Seinfeld about it. What was it? Oh no, there's no, it says here, you're not generally legally obligated to help someone in danger in the United States under the standard tort law. Ordinary citizens have no legal duty to rescue strangers, even if doing so saves a life. And I guess yet I've seen people get sued. Oh, Good Samaritan laws. That's what that is what it was. In general, the answer is no. There's no legal requirement to be a Good Samaritan. However, there are a number of exceptions to this rule. One says that people may have an obligation to assist someone if they helped create the danger in the first place. Okay. Okay, cool. Good Samaritan laws. That's exactly what I was talking. That's exactly what I was thinking of. That's what they were laughing at in Seinfeld. I'm such a fan of Seinfeld. Yeah, see, Wildflower, I agree with you that we're now guilty until proven innocent. And, that's exactly what it looks like. And that's exactly what Bill C-22 is to me. Because until now, if you wanted to tap my phone, if you wanted to tap my internet, you had to have a court order. You had to have a very good reason in order to spy on me. But you needed probable cause. But with Bill C-22, you are considered guilty until proven innocent. And that's true, because now they will be able to record 100% of our metadata, yet they don't define what metadata is. And again, that's a conversation I had with my buddy this morning, because he wanted to understand Bill C-22. So he gave me a call because I talk about it all the time. And we both agree that the metadata is not defined. And that's the biggest problem in that bill, if you ask me. So yeah. Giving the power, we all know the government spies on us. I don't think this is surprising to anybody, but now they want to be able to do it legally. This is what I say. Chuck Davis is saying, just tell the cops to fuck off and to get their pigs a bro. Get their pigs a bro. The reason they want to control Stir the Soul, the reason they want to control the internet providers is to catch the white hat hackers. No, because they're not going to catch them. They're not going to catch them at all. That's what we're talking about, Jason and I, last Thursday. Those guys are not going to get caught. The hackers, even the white hackers and the black hackers, they're not going to get caught because they're going to go on the Tor network. They're going to do peer-to-peer. They're going to communicate cell phone to cell phone or device to device without transitioning through the internet. So they're not the ones that are going to get caught. Their main aim is you and I. Their main aim is just regular Canadians. They want to have us under their control. There's a good reason why Bill C-9 passed before Bill C-22 will pass. They're all interconnected. How many times have I said this on this show, and I will continue to say it? All those bills are interconnected, and they all are part of one single big FU bill. All of them are a big FU bill that they had to split in multiple ones. So yeah, they want to be able to spy legally on us, the regular people. They want to keep us in control. They want to control us. They want to keep us in fear. They want to make sure that we behave. That's what they want to do. I've been telling Canadians to get an American phone company provider and use N number and avoid Canadian telecommunication companies. Well, yeah, that's a good way to do it. I don't have a Canadian number. I'll just, so you guys know, my number is American. My service is American too. So yeah, 100%. If they cannot force American companies to do it. So basically, you are correct. At least in my books, you are correct, and I agree. I also have an American phone number, and my services are all in the U.S. So yeah, correct. Sheridan, which company do you recommend to this newbie? Oh, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of companies out there that their plan are a lot better than us. Stir the Soul, they're coming for us no matter what we try to do or say. You know, man, I get it. And you might be right. You might be right that they are, but at the end of the day, man, I'm a Christian. The book tells me that we win. We win in the end, man. Whatever happens between now and then is out of my control. All I know is that I will tell the truth, because that is the expectation of God, is that I am honest and I tell the truth and I help others wake up. That's my purpose. This is what I'm meant to do. So that is what I do. But don't forget, we win at the end. So all good. Chuck Davis, I'm a Viking. We do not lie, we have honor, we have morals, we have principles, but the gods protect you, brothers. And I agree. I completely agree with you, man. Silverfeet is saying, I have a phone and service from Mint Mobile from the US with roaming data. Can they shut that down? Not from my understanding, although this is the thing, and this is where I would be very, very curious to see if they could or not, because here's how it works. So if you have a telecommunication companies, the Rogers, the Telus, the Bells of this world, they operate directly in Canada. So it's most of the time it's their network, although they will third party their networks in, let's say in places, but let's say you're a Bell customer in places where Bell's not available, Rogers is available. They do have third party agreements between the two of them so that you can roam. Even if you're within Canada, you would technically be roaming on their network, and then your traffic is being sent through their network to the network connection that they have, the connections, because they have a lot of them, between Rogers and Bell, and then your traffic goes back to the Bell network like it was Bell traffic all along. It's just we call that the last mile. It's like whatever is getting to the customer. But in a situation that we would need to talk, I would need to talk to a very technical lawyer in order to explain if your service is American, because in America right now, like my cell phone's American, my service is American, and right now I am on Bell. If I look at my roaming, I'm on Bell. So could the government put a request to Bell to tell them to block my MAC address, which I've spoken about this before. A MAC address is a unique identifier for every single device out there that's on the internet. So the billions of devices out there all have a unique identifier, which is attached to your phone number. It's attached to your services. Would it be possible? It's just by law. Could they, because they have agreements. So Bell has agreements with American companies so that when an American customer is in Canada, uses the network of Bell, like I said, Bell is going to be the end mile network provider, but then the traffic is being sent back to the US. So it's a good question. In my head, no. In my head, my services should be okay. Unless the Canada would sign a deal with the US where these telecommunication companies are supposed to cut me off as well. But I don't think that because of the agreements that Bell would have with third-party carriers in the US, if they could do that. That's a very good question. Unfortunately, I'm not a lawyer. I understand the technology behind it. I don't think you could. I think that that's a way to protect yourself, and that's the way I see it. But I'd be curious. I'd love to have a lawyer that could explain this, but most lawyers out there are really not technical, just like our politician. Let's see, guys. Let's see what other comments we have here, because we are running out of time. We only have 2 minutes left. Sheridan Forbes is saying, focus on what you can control and prepare for the hard times ahead as much as possible. Get heirloom seeds, grow potatoes in barrels to maximum space, and grow food you can put into cans. You're right, brother. Absolutely right. Chris H563 is saying a reason for all those bills might be NATO cognitive warfare. NATO considers the mind of the citizens the new battlefield. They have to win in the mind of the people. These bills could help with that. I don't think NATO's not an organization that worry me too much. I'm more worried about China that seems to be running the world now. That's what scares me, because they are a communist country. So, but it's a one world government. I don't think, if you've done a minimum of research, I don't think it's surprising for anyone to hear that there are powers that be that want to control the whole world. They've been trying to do it for a long time, but they've never had the technology to do it. And AI, unfortunately, enables that for them. So 8 o'clock, right on the dot. Perfect time to end it right there. Once again, guys, thank you very much for all your comments. Unfortunately, I apologize that Tony did not show up for this episode to talk to us about the video itself. Hopefully, we were able to make sense of it somewhat, although we still don't have the background story, which I would have loved to have. I'll see. Hopefully, nothing bad happened to him, so we'll see. But as Prairie is saying, this show is 100% listener funded, no corporate, government, or political money, just you. So if you do want to support independent media, you can go to thepoliticalorphans.com/show, or you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Nico Lagan. On that note, guys, I'm out. This is it for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. And I will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, peace.